Uh, guys, we gotta talk. We gotta talk, man. We gotta talk about Final Fantasy, Square Enix, and PlayStation. First thing I want to say is I don't know everything when it comes to business relations, so this is purely speculation coming from the outside looking in. Let's talk about the history of Xbox and Square Enix games. I remember being a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I'm still to a point. I have definitely, laid off of the brand a lot in the recent installments. I'm not biggest fan, but I remember when Final Fantasy 13 originally came to the Xbox, and I was excited because I finally got to play a Final Fantasy game on the Xbox platform. Then 13.2, then Lightning Returns, then 15. And then Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 ended up making its way to the Xbox platform. First 3, then they rebrought 1 and 2. Then they brought Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, all of these to the Xbox platform. And then something has happened between that and now. There was originally a time where I was told by very, very, what's what I'm looking for? Informative person that was in the know that told me that at one point in time, Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposed to come out for the Xbox platform after the timed exclusivity. But that never happened. And not only did that not happen, but Rebirth has been announced and it's a PlayStation exclusive as well. Forspoken is an Xbox PlayStation exclusive. 16 is a PlayStation exclusive. Now, I'm not saying these deals were made soon, but I'm saying that it really feels like there's something going on behind closed doors keeping these games off Xbox. And I know that Square Enix has games exclusivity to Nintendo. Got the Bravery Default 2, which that's on PC now. Triangle Strategy. You got PlayStation games getting exclusive games such as Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, 16, Forspoken. Now, when I look at all of these games, Square Enix is definitely working with multiple outlets, and it's not just PlayStation. There's no debuting, whatever. There's no arguing against that. But one thing you can say about the common with all of these games that's going to PlayStation, going to Switch, is none of them are on Xbox. Now, when something has eventually lived its life and the timed exclusivity goes up, then it would go other places. But it doesn't seem like that's happening with the Xbox platform. It seems like it's just skipping the platform entirely. I think Sony's doing something. So PlayStation has some kind of like deal with them where it's like, we don't care if you do stuff with Nintendo, but we do want to lock these Final Fantasy games to our platform. I don't know if it's something that is happening on the back end because I've been very, speculating that Sony is on the way to purchasing a company like Square Enix. Maybe not now. I think that if they want to buy them, they're going to wait for after the Microsoft and Activision purchase. And the reason I think that is because how are you going to go out on public and cry someone else is buying a publisher if you're buying a publisher? So I feel like that's why they're waiting. They're waiting until that deal is either done or blocked before they go through with their purchase on Square Enix. Now, I'm not saying they're like breaking the law or anything. I'm not saying that they're deliberately holding information. They probably just have some kind of like handshake deal where it's like, look, we are interested in buying you, but right now it's not going to happen. Now, as far as what would happen with the Nintendo exclusives, I don't know. A lot of those games are smaller games. If you notice, Switch doesn't really get big games from Square Enix. It's always smaller projects from smaller teams. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or anything. I think that's a wonderful thing, but it makes me wonder, why not Xbox? Why never Xbox? Triangle Strategy, that was a great game. We got the actual game on Xbox and PlayStation didn't. So why not PlayStation? Why not bring the actual game over to PlayStation before you give them the sequel? But for some reason, they're getting the sequel, and I think they might get a remake before the actual game comes out. And we only have the original game and not the sequel. So right there shows me that it's not necessarily about where these games are going, because there's games on other platforms. To me, if you're already making the game, why not port it to make even more money? To me, If it's not taking as long to make a game like Triangle Strategy 2, then why not just port it? Unless someone is not necessarily making you not put it on it, but they're giving you deals that you can't go off. Now, where do these conversations go? Where are they coming from? We did get games like Strangers of Paradise, the Final Fantasy Crisis Core. So why is Square Enix willing to give us these games? Give the Xbox ecosystem, the Xbox gamer, these games if they know they're going to bomb? Go ahead. Hit me up in the comment section. Explain that to me. Because I don't know. People keep telling me on Twitter it's about Square Enix not wanting to mess with the Xbox ecosystem. But why those games? Are they expecting like the lower end of those games, especially Strangers of Paradise? I don't know really anyone that likes that game. So they expect these games to sell, but not the good ones that they provide. That's why I assume Dragon Quest 12 is not coming. I'm not saying that Square Enix is going to be bought by PlayStation. I'm saying there's a good chance that it would happen. But this morning I wake up, and this is the first thing I see. Let me switch over here. Look at this, man. Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 7, obviously Xbox, PlayStation exclusive, and then you got all these games. Now, what these is, it's called the Pixel Collection or something like that. Pretty much, it's the older Final Fantasies remade with like the iOS or something mobile. I don't know exactly 100% of the stuff. So pretty much, when it come to these, is they were only on Steam and phones. And people were wondering, when are they going to come to the platform? Now, I kind of pretty much knew that this wasn't happening. There's no way that these games are coming to Xbox because of the practices that I currently have been seeing. The part that just blows my mind is how are you going to get Crisis Core Reunion and Strangers of Paradise, but not these older games? That's why that defense makes no sense to me. I don't understand. Maybe someone in the comment section can explain that to me. I'm going to be real with you guys. I think Xbox needs to make statements. I really do. Obviously not make statements of why it's happening, because clearly even if they knew or they knew about any kind of deal, or maybe Square Enix just doesn't want to put the game on the platform, I personally feel like they need to be aggressive in this market. If Sony's going to reach in the Square Enix bag and pull out stuff like Final Fantasy and pull out these games, then I personally feel like Microsoft needs to be just as aggressive. They need to go to Capcom. They need to go to, Sega, get Atlus's Persona 6 exclusive to the platform. Look, Game Pass is nice. And I've always said it's good if they just get the games to the platform. But at this point, where all of these games are being locked out of the Xbox ecosystem for either money reasons that they don't feel like they can make the money back, which is, I think, is completely idiotic, but it is what it is, or deals being made behind Microsoft's back to keep these games off the platform. Microsoft needs to answer to this. They need to go to these other platforms or buy some and make their own, because you're never going to build a platform that is worldwide appealing like PlayStation has done without these type of games. You're never going to build Xbox Game Pass to be the colossal giant it can be without these type of games. These are very popular games. Sure, are they the most popular genre ever? No, probably not. But I would say that Microsoft's biggest thing, especially when it comes to turn-based games, RPGs, any type of RPGs in general, Western, Eastern, it doesn't really matter at this point. I feel like their standpoint is they have so much of a hold on the Western RPG market that they need to be like, look, we're going to go snatch some of these timed exclusives, make a couple of our own studios, and get a hold of this Japanese RPG market as well. And you could come to our platform for all of that. We got you. Get Game Pass. We got you. But now you're just looking at people that love this type of game. And they're like, why should I get an Xbox when I can't play all the Final Fantasy games on the platform? Most likely Dragon Quest 12 is not coming. Most likely Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Remake 2 not coming. Why should I mess with that platform if I can't get some of the funnest, best games that's in the Japanese market? And sure, I'm not saying that that's the end all be all. I'm sure Starfield's going to do well. I'm sure Elder Scrolls is going to do well. I'm sure Call of Duty coming to Game Pass is going to do well. But if you want to be not diverse, but if you want to have a variety of games, The best way to do that is to get as much that you possibly can. And some of them do have to be exclusive to your platform because you have to separate yourself from the competition. That's their games, this is our games. You have to go to them for them, and you have to come to us for us. And if Microsoft is allowing, and not even allowing, there's not a whole lot they can do in these kind of scenarios. If these deals are being done, Xbox can't really do anything at this point. But they need to have a response to it. All right, you want to go there and snatch that Final Fantasy? We gonna snatch Persona 6. We gonna buy Sega so that stuff's always on our platform. We're going to merge our image with Persona 6. All the Personas, that's ours. All the Atlas games, that's ours. Because PlayStation has no problem reaching in that bag and taking the games from their competitors' gamers. And I feel like Microsoft needs to have that same energy. Maybe this FTC thing and this buying Activision things, preventing them from making a lot of announcements. Maybe they are having that kind of stuff. But all I know is why you're trying to make this 78, 68, 58, 28, $158 billion deal. And you can't remember much of it. It's something in the sixes. PlayStation is taking a lot of the market share off of just faith in general, because their gamers know that they're going to buy PlayStation, have access to the majority of the games that Xbox has, including Call of Duty, because even if they buy them, they've already said that they're not going to rip that off the platform, and still have access to their exclusives. And Microsoft, you have to do a better job at separating you from the competition, and that does require exclusives. I'm sorry to tell you that. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. This is Gaming Addict. I kind of want to know what your guys' thought in the comment section are. Do you guys really feel like this is something that they could fix? Do you feel like this is just something that, I have a PlayStation. It's right here. Right here. Right there. I could buy these games. That's not the point. The point is to make the brand better. But that's it, man. Put it in the comment section below. This is Gaming Addict. Until the next video, I'm out of here. Peace.